What is going on, guys? Postgrad Dom coming at you today with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about saving. We all want more money. We all want to look at the bank account and see it nice and pretty. We all just like to buy the nice things here and there. But how are we going to do that? Well, that's going to be by saving more in 2019. So, first tip I'm going to give you guys is going to be by trying to avoid unnecessary transportation costs. Now, what are unnecessary transportation costs, right? Things like unnecessary Uber rides, things like taking the toll road when it's not necessary. And I'm guilty of all these things. There's times that I just didn't want to walk and I paid $20 on a surcharge for an Uber. I take the toll road pretty much religiously to work, and that's like $3 each day just for me to get to work. So trying to avoid these costs when they're not necessary is huge. Now, starting off with the Uber thing. If you're drinking and you drove there, highly recommend Uber. Don't drink and drive, guys. It's not cool. But if you're able to walk home or like catch a ride with a friend or something, but you know they're leaving a little earlier, but they actually drove, just opt to go with that. I mean, just imagine how much you probably would save if you wouldn't spend $20 on Ubers every week. That's going to be $80 a month, pretty much about $960 every year in savings by just not being lazy and trying to find alternative ways to get home that don't involve Ubers. Now, toll roads, once again, they're usually not necessary. They're very convenient. I mean, they cut my commute like 10 minutes, but once again, they cost more money, and we all could do better if we just avoided these kind of costs. Now, that's my first tip. You're going to see later, I'm going to go over 4 other tips, and I hope you guys enjoy, guys. Alright guys, so right now we're on our way to get some coffee. Made a very big mistake because I didn't think it was going to be this cold out, you know. It's cold out. But this is where we're going. So we are going to be going to Starbucks right here. But let's just think a second, right? This is a video on how to save money. So why are we going to Starbucks? Maybe we shouldn't. We're going to go with the alternative. Alright, that probably shouldn't have made me as winded as it did, but it did. So now I'll see you at the apartment. And there you have it, a nice $3.99 cup of coffee. Now, why did I go outside and walk almost to Starbucks just to make a point of me not getting Starbucks? Well, partially because it's a stone's throw away, makes it very easy for you guys. And 2, we're visual people. So, the importance of not going to Starbucks, not getting your coffee bean, Dutch Bros, whatever kind of coffee you get, is very important. The reason being is that each cup of coffee starts to add up. So imagine you spending $3 5 days a week to get your coffee before work, you get your coffee on your way home, just you want your coffee. It starts to add up, especially if you start getting like, you know, the really creative drinks like the Frappuccinos, and you know, all that like good sugar in it, all those kind of drinks. Because just a regular black coffee is like $3. And 5 days a week, 4 weeks out of the month, times 12. More math that I don't have off the top of my head, but we're going to put it in that corner. And that's how much you're going to be saving. I mean, that's going to be close to or over $1,000 each. Actually, probably a little under $1,000 each year you're saving by just not going to Starbucks, and instead you can get one of these beautiful Keurigs. You're still going to have to pay for the Keurig and then some of the K-Cups, but it's still going to be cheaper than going to Starbucks every day. And in my opinion, I think it tastes just as good. You can get the Starbucks K-Cups if you really want, but overall it's just another way to save money and for you to save more in 2019. That's what you guys were looking for, right? Alright guys, we'll see you at the next tip. What's up guys? So The next thing we're going to talk about is eating at home and buying in bulk. These are two solid ways to save money while doing the same thing at the same time. So starting with buying in bulk is just naturally when you buy in bulk, things are going to be cheaper. Just economies of scale, going to Walmart versus Sam's Club. Sam's Club's going to be cheaper, or Costco if you don't have a Sam's Club. But so that's the first thing that I would recommend. You need to start buying in bulk. Like for me personally, let me see if I can show you guys. I don't eat all the food when I buy in bulk, but I just end up freezing it. So you can see my freezer right here. It's just full of ground turkey meat because it's cheap. And it makes, for me personally, out of 4 pounds, I get about eight meals out of it. And that's a pretty good deal right there. Rather than if I ate outside, or not ate outside, if I ate out every day after work or before during lunch at work, minimum I'm spending is $10 on one meal. And for me, I eat more than one time in a day, so it really starts to add up. And just, you actually know what you're eating. It's going to be healthier depending on how you cook it. Doesn't always have to be bland, but just using different seasons and spices will really step it up. So it's really hard to put a numerical number on this this savings tip, but if you really want to, let's say you eat out every day and you spend $10 every day going to like McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, stuff like that, $50 a week, $200 in a month, $2,400 for the year. That was some quick math. Good job, Dom. But that's going to be a huge savings if you just cut out eating out during work, because you're probably still going to eat out on the weekends. You're probably still going to go out. So it's just really important that you guys do that one. All right, we still have 2 more tips to talk about, guys, so I'll see you there. All right, guys, our next tip is going to be stop impulse buying. Stop just seeing things in the store and just buying it for no reason. If you're grocery shopping, you don't need those cookies just because they're advertised very well. If you're online, you see something you like, wait a minute and think about it. Spending $30 on one shirt sounds like a good idea right now, but probably in a few days or even in a month, once you've worn it and you're like, okay, it's cool, you're gonna think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have bought that. Now, I'm not saying don't go out and buy things that you want. Just don't make those impulse decisions where you're not thinking about what you're spending your money on, and you're going to be better off in 2019. And impulse buying even expands past, those small little purchases like cookies, a t-shirt. Those are small purchases. But some people will even go as far to impulse buy a house, impulse buy cars, just because they're not thinking about the consequences of their action. They're thinking about, okay, I have this money now, why not just spend it? But when you get down to it, you're now loading up on debt, and you're going to have a bad time. And especially if you're starting to load up your credit card and you're starting to collect interest on it. Well, that's a discussion for a whole nother day. But let's not impulse buy in 2019, and let's think about our decisions before we make them. Pretty good life tip right there. All right, one more tip left. Stay tuned. All right, guys, wasn't going to leave you hanging too long. So final thing is, we're going to start buying quality over quantity, quality over the cheap thing. We're going to focus on quality. Now, this can be applied to anything you're purchasing. It can be applied to clothes, utensils, regular home appliances. We're going to try and buy more quality things rather than the cheap thing now because it makes us feel better. Now, it looks cheaper. Yeah, you can get the, $3 spatula, the $3 like picture you hang on your wall, or maybe like the $20 shirt over like the $40 shirt. But one thing you need to know is when you're buying these things, they're gonna last longer. Typically, quality does mean they're gonna last longer. And instead of spending $7 on the spatula, you spent $4 on the cheap one. Well, what happens when that spatula eventually breaks? It could snap, it gets disgusting. Now you just spent $8 in the same year, because instead of spending the $7 that's going to last you the whole year, maybe even longer, you're going to spend $8 for that year, and you're still going to have a not quality product, because it's probably going to break again. Now, I don't know how often spatulas break, but I mean, for SpongeBob, they seem to break quite a bit. But that's just one thing you need to know. I personally enjoy buying quality clothing. I think they fit better. It's going to make you feel better. So overall, just try to not buy as much of something and buy the best quality you can without breaking the bank. Now, that's all I have for you in this video on how to save in 2019. I really hope you guys like this video. If you do, hit like, subscribe, and if you have any savings tips for 2019, please drop them in the comments, guys. Alright, I'll see you next video.